Hello, dear Patreon, and welcome to my studio. Today it is time for me to do the new moon reading for you all using my beautiful spirit animal guide deck, and I'm also using my celestial tarot deck. But before we get into any of this, let's get the flame of hope, peace, and love for 2026 going. And there we have it. May all beings benefit. Beautiful. Right. Let me put this here. Here we go. Okay, you guys. This is exciting. Another month is finished and we are standing again at the doorway of a beautiful new moon, and with that comes opportunity to make new decisions, new choices, and to set our feet on a new path. So it's always a good time to review and reflect. Where have we been? Where are we now? And where are we going? Right, so that's usually my focus of my energetic reading that anyone on my Patreon platform can use just as an energy guide from the perspective of the spirit animal guides that is around us all the time, here to assist us on our beautiful journey of awakening, remembering, and transforming our planet into a beautiful place where heaven comes to earth. I know that sounds all airy-fairy, but it's really very true. If we think about it, our biggest, highest mission as a soul is to awaken and remember our divinity while we are in physical form. And that is where miracles begin to happen. And unfortunately, it is very difficult, I think, for a soul to come into a physical body and remember everything. Our physical brains is just not there yet. So here and there is an exception to the rule, like the Dalai Lama, beautiful sacred saints that are born, that come to show us the way and to remind us of our divine mission. So for me, divination like this is a beautiful practice to initiate and bring into your creative practice. It's a way to divine with yourself, to speak with your higher self that is always in perfect harmony, connection, and flow with the divine, whoever you perceive that to be. That is not so important for me. What is important is that we remember that we are not separate, we are not disconnected, and you certainly don't need anyone else to tell you what spirit is saying, like me. But before you guys, initiate your own tools, sometimes it's helpful just to plug in with a trusted guide that is sharing from a divination tool that you resonate with. But I do want to encourage you to invest in your own divination and get to know it so that you can sort of lean into that as a tool when you need guidance, and just to see from a higher perspective what it is that you are currently dealing with and how that can help you to course correct, for lack of a better term, if necessary. But sometimes it really just helps me to focus on beautiful, positive information that enforces my choice to step into a life of my dreams, fully awakened and ready to manifest a life for the highest good, not just for myself, but for everyone. I want everyone to come to the party. Why must some people stay behind, right? I don't think that is necessary. But here we are, one small group at a time, one pocket of people at a time, waking up, remembering that we are here to play, we are here to have fun, we are here to express ourselves, because now we can literally pick up something, we can literally make something. And if that isn't, a reflection on the divine, then I don't know. So this is really beautiful and sacred and an appropriate, I feel, practice to initiate into your creative practice, just because it is so beautiful, healing, and uplifting. Right, so without any further ado, I'm going to move my tarot deck there, and I just call on the spirit animal guides that is here to help us remember, help us to reflect, and to guide us towards the space, the place, and the time when everybody on the planet is awakened and remembers that we are one, remembers that we are all part of the divine. So I'm asking for the spirit animal guides to just show us where we have been, where we are now, and where we are going with beautiful clarity so that we can step ahead. And I'm just going to open the deck like this today and just see what is coming forth. Feel this one. Here's the next one. I like this one at the end. Right, so that choice moment is really just tuning into your guidance and just feel what card draws your attention. So just for clarity, this is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid, one of my favorites, and I just love using this deck for that purpose. So the first card for me talks about where we've come from. The second card for me is where we are now. And the third card is where we are headed. So I'm going to begin with the middle card, where we are now. Oh, beautiful. It is the otter spirit. And I just want to note that it's in an upside down position. So I just want to turn it around so that you can see the beautiful card. The otter spirit is really one of me and my husband's personal symbols since we met. In fact, I have these two beautiful pendants that belongs to both of us. This was the first gift that my husband gave me, and it is still very special and beautiful with these two playful otters on there. And the spirit of the otter with number 42 is reminding us that we are never alone, and that is just so beautiful. Otters are so close to each other, they're so playful and fun, and they want to remind us today that we are never alone. But it was an inverted card, so there is a protection message that comes with this for this space that we are standing in right now. You have been channeling all of your affection to just one person, or counting on only one friend or individual to hold you up, heedless of your resources all around you. You deserve support and love from many people, and when the otter spirit arrives, you are reminded that you have a community of people around you. Somewhere is another friend who wants to experience the joy of giving to you and seeing your happiness as you receive their gift of attention, affection, and kindness. Otter Spirit wants you to open your eyes and to see the love that is available to you from all directions. Do you believe it? Do you feel it? Reach out to someone and you will see that they want to hold your hand as much as you want to hold theirs. Love, support, and friendship are available to you, so connect with your community of friends. So with that in our mind, let us also look at the global sort of energy at the present moment. And I know it can feel very lonesome for some of us, especially if you are busy awakening in your world and your usual friendship circle, family is not necessarily there. It's really difficult when you start to see through the illusion, through the lies, through the whole sort of construct of our environment, of politics and social structures, the world that we've created. up until now. And some things are working, some things are definitely not working, right? So, in that awakening moment, you begin to sort of see things for what it really is rather than the illusion that it presents to you. And that can be very challenging. And few people talk about this because I feel that an awakening is not necessarily the prettiest or the easiest experience to go through, and my deepest sort of empathy for that, because we are not warned or trained or prepared for awakening. It just happens. It happens, and suddenly you see the truth, you see it for what it is, and all of those illusions and delusions are dropping away. When the awakening happens, what happens is you sort of begin to distance yourself a little bit from your regular circles of friends. Not because you want to distance yourself, but it becomes extremely exhaustive to go or return to an environment the whole time where you also are expected to continue to pretend, to mask, and to cover up, and to just be in a behavioral pattern that was acceptable before, but now because of your awakening, you're seeing through it. And suddenly, it just loses its power and it loses its attraction. So, what happens in the first stages of awakening is people retreat and they spend more and more time by themselves. And it's not because they are depressed or avoiding anything, it is simply a process of shedding. Like in the year of the snake, it's a process of recognizing patterns of behavior, patterns of choices and of movement in your family structure, in your life, that suddenly doesn't make sense anymore. So maybe you're there right now, and I think the world is going through a mass awakening at this stage. So that is why we are seeing so much of the unconscious mind being almost vomited out for everyone to see. We see political systems crashing down on the floor with all of the lies and deception literally being biled out so that everyone can see it for what it is. We're seeing that with all kinds of world structures, especially ones that is anchored in selfish power struggles. And that can also be evident in families where you awaken and begin to recognize that you are here to heal certain patterns of behaviors and choices and ancestral sort of trauma that needs to end with you, that needs to be fixed and healed and brought back into alignment with you. So the work that we are doing here, the awakening that we are experiencing, is not just for ourselves. It is for everyone. But I've mentioned this many times before. The work that needs to happen in the world needs to happen in every individual's own heart. That is where the change, the transformation, and the miracle needs to happen before we can fix what needs to happen out here. Because remember, out here is the illusion. Out here is where we see in physical form what it is that we believe. So we can't fix the world's problems out here by breaking and building and breaking and building. We need to fix the problems out here by fixing the perception in here. And that is where the real clarity needs to come. Until everyone sees clearly what unified consciousness looks like and where they fit into that picture. And that it is not about power, it is not about money, it is not about fame, it is not about any of these external things that the world constantly tells you is important. It's not, because it just falls right back to ash by the time that you die. But because we sort of lean it over from one generation to the next, therein lies the danger. Some traditions and some habits needs to end with you because the time for it is done. And that can only happen when we recognize, we realize, and we realign ourselves with our true beautiful spirit, right? So let's look at where we're coming from. Also an inverted card, and it's the fox spirit. And the fox spirit did sort of check in with us earlier, and it is asking us, or it sort of warned us that we need to think on our feet. So the fox spirit is saying to you, think on your feet, but it's an inverted card. So it is giving us a protection message, and it's a reflection of where we're coming from. We're just moving out of a retrograde, and we are sort of moving into a whole new moon system after the planetary alignments and after all of the eclipses. So let's see what the fox spirit is trying to tell us about where we're stepping from into this space where we might feel lonely at this present moment. Are you camouflaging yourself to avoid intimacy? Perhaps you are being too clever for your own good and playing games to protect yourself. Being dishonest with yourself or others can become isolating and create obstacles to true connection. It's beautiful how these two cards relate. Fox Spirit calls you to be attuned to what is happening within you and around you so that your quick thinking and creativity can lead you to a better relationship and situation. You are called to use your fox spirit beneficially rather than in ways that keep you from experiencing what you want. Or perhaps right now you are realizing that a situation is trickier than it appears on the surface, and you are afraid to make a move in case it turns out to be a mistake. That is very human. Fox Spirit is here to remind you that when you are in alignment with the Great Spirit, the answers and the solutions can come quickly and you can trust them. Don't overthink a situation in order to avoid the challenge of facing the difficult truth. Fox Spirit's creative nature will always be there to guide you and to help you move quickly into better circumstances. Really, again, such a profound message for me. Really, thank you, Fox Spirit, for this insight, because for me, these two cards relate so beautifully from where we've been, where we are right now. And I think, again, if I relate it to the world energy that we see right now, there's a lot of isolation that is happening either through war and conflict, through politics. There is a definite stance of left and right in duality in our world at the present moment, and it is very difficult to navigate with our relationships, especially professional relationships and relationships with the general public out there, because we have an opinion, right? And we have sort of an idea or a clarity or a belief within ourselves. And when we begin to talk about politics or world conflict or anything like that, the economy, that's a whole other message. We can suddenly realize that our viewpoint is slightly out of alignment with the general circles that you move in. Or you might find that there's consensus, but there is a general tone of worry, concern, fear, and it's very difficult to be creative and to work on your goals when you are constantly in a state of worry, concern, negativity, complaining, comparison, and so forth. Because then we are feeding those energies, and there's enough confusion floating around in the world at the present moment. So the fox is reminding you to be mindful of what you are focusing on. Be mindful of the circles that you move in, that you don't absorb negative energy, negative ideas, negative belief systems. Our biggest challenge at the present moment is to observe and to recognize if any of the things that we are trying to change in our own lives is present in the world, is present within ourselves. Are we lying to ourselves? Are we covering up a truth? Is there something difficult to face that you keep avoiding? It's okay, it's human, but you know, it will be a good thing for you if you just allow yourself to face that truth, be honest with yourself, and lean into the guidance of the fox spirit to think on your feet and to use creativity as a way to fix that problem or just fix that um, misaligned perception. Because sometimes it's just a subtle shift in perception that's needed in order to see the whole truth and not just an aspect of it. Okay, so that is really important. So let's go ahead and look at our future. And again, an inverted card. And there's nothing negative about an inverted card, I would just like to say. It just presents us with an opportunity to look at the message that the spirit animal is giving to us from a point where we might be out of alignment. So that's why the inverted or the normal card can be different in the reading. Okay, so this is the stag spirit. What a beautiful card. In fact, it's the cover card of this deck. Love this. And the stag is saying, take the lead. So take the lead. Others may not be as far along as you are on the journey. When stag spirit appears in this protection position, you are called to be compassionate and patient as you find yourself leading the way. When others struggle to follow you, they may be unsure you can be trusted, challenging you to be kind and strong, challenging your value and questioning your worth. Know that Spirit has put you in this place at the first time for a purpose and will not abandon you when you need help with new responsibilities. I'm just so grateful for this message. Or perhaps you are actually uncomfortable leading, maybe temporarily trapped by your small self, and are therefore promoting yourself too strongly, afraid that others might see weakness or imperfection in you. Let go of your fears and let the stag spirit remind you that you have what it takes to lead wisely and ethically if you practice self-honesty and listen to others who wish to support you. Again, there is a subtle message of remembering that you are not alone on this earth mission. And I think if you're at a stage in your awakening where you are in the isolation phase, you've outgrown your friends, you don't want to spend time with family because it's just too exhausting to continue to pretend to be who they want you to be, who you were before. It's very difficult to step back into an old skin that you've shed, right? So Stag Spirit is here to remind you that you are in a leadership position, but to lead with kindness, with wisdom, and with lots of patience. You don't have the responsibility to fix others, to change their perception, or to do anything about them. Remain grounded in who you are. And just like a parent is very patient with a child that is playing and is in another time in their lives, and they might be busy around you, unaware of the real challenges that face them. It is not our jobs to wake other people up, literally shaking them. Everyone will wake up when it is their time to wake up. We are simply required to show up with authenticity, with integrity, with honesty, and with truth. Not to judge, not to enforce change on others, because that would be leadership that we are seeing in the world that we don't agree with, right? So sometimes we need to see examples around us of what not to do or how not to do things. And sometimes we experience that so that we can recognize this is not the way. And that was a lesson, wasn't it? And that was beautiful. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just shows us the possibility spectrum between left and right. Where is it that you want to be, and where is it that you want to step into leadership? And again, I will encourage you to look at that golden middle way, because in extreme forms, left or right, both are wrong, both are right. But there is consequences to that duality, to that extreme polarization, right? So let's return to the golden middle way, where both spectrums fold back in on itself, and we see, okay, leadership is all about being authentic, being truthful, being transparent, and arriving with integrity, and not engage with patterns of behavior that we've outgrown. You can recognize them, you can observe them, but you don't have to absorb it, and you don't have to go in there and fix everything according to your testament, but rather just be present. Just be present. Your frequency that you will carry in authenticity is enough, because standing in that frequency is recognized by everyone around you. Whether you think they recognize it or not, they do. And it confronts them in a way that is not causing conflict, but is rather an opportunity to awaken themselves. So let's lead with that beautiful spirit, remembering that we are guided, we are supported, we are not alone, and we can use our wisdom, our awakening, our understanding to be good leaders in our community, even if it is just through our energy and our frequency, to show up and to be reminded that people are lonely, people are scared, people are freaked out. And yes, it is a very interesting time in our period, and that's perfectly okay. There is, after all, nothing really to fear, because we are in a dimension where we are here to play. And when we step out of our physical bodies and back into spirit, I think all of that information, all of our soul's experience from eons and eons of time is suddenly available to us. And I think that's when that perfect unification happens again. We recognize that we've never left paradise, we've never been alone, and we certainly weren't trapped in a dream that is about to change. So I really hope this new moon you will take this opportunity to grow and to just be aware of your relationships around you, where you maybe isolate yourself. And again, I want to remind you, you are not alone. Here you have a beautiful community, a beautiful tribe of people that is on the journey through creativity to remember and awaken. And I'm always there for you as a support system as well. So again, get active on the Creative Heart group. Look at those daily prompts and really just see how this can help you to align where alignment is required, and recognize where alignment has already been achieved through sharing and caring. And you will be amazed at how much further you can go with people that is holding your hand. You are not alone, that is embracing you and giving you a safe space where you can figure things out. Right, so to conclude today's reading, I'm also going to just draw one card from my tarot deck. I'm still getting to know my tarot deck, and I just want to see how a whole nother oracle system can act as a support and another way to look at what it is that we are currently dealing with. Right, and I'm picking up the Ten of Swords. Now this little reference book I shared this morning on the behind the scenes, I got this on Temu, and it's just a little witch's grimoire in a little flip chart that is so cute. Everything that you need is right here on a sort of flashcard for quick reference. So let's see, this is the minor arcana, which will then be on the back. And the swords talk about the intellect, thoughts, ideas, communication, invention. It links with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius and the element of air. So that is already very interesting because I'm a Libra and I know that we've just had the full moon in Libra. So let's see now with the new moon. Where is the swords? Okay. The Ten of Swords. Surrender, beginnings, opportunity. The Ten of Swords symbolizes endings, release, and surrendering to closure. It marks the conclusion of a difficult cycle. And with the new moon, that is exactly, it is the end of a moon cycle, but it's also the beginning. It all happens. So 10 is both 1 and 0, the beginning and the end. That is just a beautiful bringing together. So letting go of your pain and hardship is key to new growth. What can you let go in order to make space for something new? Perfect example for new moon, which can also link with space clearing, letting go of stale and stuck energy, things that we don't need anymore. Maybe clean out your cupboard, clean out your house, give it a good sweep, and really just release with that all of the old and open up your doors and windows, light a candle, burn some incense, and just allow new blessings to flow in. Set fresh intentions, and that will be really helpful to you this new moon. Right. So, lastly, you see this beautiful little pot here on my left. I'm just going to move it slightly more into the camera here. Here we go. So I've got here a beautiful smaller pot, a simmer pot that is hanging above a tea light, and this morning I used it in our beautiful herb binding ceremony. I just got this and I must say it works beautiful. I fill it up with a bit of moon water, and today I've added some lavender, rosemary, and some lemon zest, and it smells beautiful. It's a whole nother way to do aroma and to do aromatherapy. Just use a beautiful simmer pot like this with fresh ingredients if you're not into smoke. So that is really lovely. I wanted to just share it with you as a way to maybe bless your space. If you don't want to use incense, you can always use a simmer pot like that. So anyway, guys, it was lovely to spend some time with you today to do a new moon reading for you. So my wish for you is may you have peace and harmony, wisdom and insight. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May you be free from danger. May you be happy. May you be healthy. And may you live in peace. And may all beings benefit from this beautiful energetic offering. So I'll see you guys again real soon on another episode. Be kind to yourself and one another. Be creative. And I'll see you guys real soon. Bye bye for now.